time for Wave 3 Listens Live on Kentuckiana's first live local TV talk show, all hosted by John Ramsey. This is Wave 3 Listens Live.
And welcome to Dr. King's birthday show. Happy birthday to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Welcome to the show. This is Wave 3 Listens. This is fun today. Wouldn't it be nice, now I'm assuming that you're off today, wouldn't it be nice to be off every day? Yes, but to do that, you need the right retirement roadmap. And with me today from Brookstone Financial is Seth Stewart, and we're going to tell you how you can get that retirement roadmap working just right. If nothing else, Seth, right now, you know, the economy's complex, there are new tax laws. We're going to talk a little bit later about Social Security, all kinds of things. It's gotten a little bit tougher to figure out the retirement roadmap, right?
Absolutely, John. And actually, as the president prepares to address the nation, we probably have some significant tax changes coming here in the very near future. It's interesting, after last week's segment, we met with one of the viewers in the office on Saturday, and it's not uncommon to see this. They came in with all this stuff, you know, all these statements, 401ks, IRA, brokerage savings. But ultimately, when you enter retirement, it comes down to, okay, here's my nest egg, here's my carton of eggs. Which egg do I crack first and why? And that's what we do at Brookstone. We take all those savings and investments and assemble them into a retirement income plan.
I love that. Yeah, it's a game plan, folks. It is your retirement roadmap. And last week we talked a little bit about a part of that, and a little bit of the recipe for your retirement that I hadn't really thought of, REITs, which has to do with real estate. So if you would, maybe you can give me a little overview of what we talked about last week.
Yeah, REITs is a commercial real estate investment trust is the acronym REIT, R-E-I-T. And I'll tell you what, there was a very exciting announcement after last Monday's segment, and we actually have an upcoming conference call tomorrow. And I would encourage all the viewers at home to tune into that conference call. All the login information is on our website right there. There's a dial-in number and there's participant access. So we may want to leave that up there for just a second. I know it's a lot to gather, but here's what's going on, John. We have a REIT, a commercial real estate trust in the healthcare sector. And we talked about the healthcare sector. Those are the adult daycares, the assisted living centers, and the nursing homes. The likelihood that those occupancy rates are going to remain high over the next 15 to 20 years because of the baby boomers.
It's about 100%.
It's very promising, okay? So tune into that conference call. This could be the best 10 minutes or the most profitable 10 minutes of 2015 for you.
Yeah, we'll put that number up again later on in the show. If you've got a chance, get a pen, get a pad, because we're going to give that number again. Again, this conference call will have to do with REITs. And we talked about this last week. Now, real estate, as you said, in the healthcare industry, you think about these baby boomers getting older. Yep. It's if there is a sure bet, and I know there's no sure bets, but if there is a sure bet, or at least a hedged bet, and a good one, it would be real estate when it comes to healthcare.
Yeah, John, I mean, again, with 10,000 baby boomers turning 65 each and every day for the next 15 years, roll the clock forward 15 years. Now you have 10,000 baby boomers turning 80 each and every day, and that's about the average age of if and when someone needs nursing home care. I think in Indiana right now it's around age 83.
I would think, as a managing partner there at Brookstone Financial, one of the questions you get most often, because it's something I worry about and wonder about, is Social Security. And today we're going to focus on that a little bit. If you have a question about Social Security, we have an expert here. Seth Stewart is here with Brookstone Financial, 571-5263. Overall view, I know it's hard and much more complex than this, but right now the state of Social Security, and how can it be involved in your retirement roadmap?
Yeah, okay, John, first of all, let's put Social Security in perspective and the dollar amount, the decision that we're talking about here. I mean, if you add up the cumulative benefits that one would receive if they started drawing Social Security at 62 all the way out to age 80, 83, you're talking about a financial decision worth potentially $1 million plus or minus dollars. So it's a big financial decision, first of all. Have you ever booked a flight on the internet, right? Book a flight, book a hotel. A lot of Americans spend as much time, if not more time, doing that than making one of the largest financial decisions of their life, and that's when and how to elect Social Security. So it's a big decision, but more importantly, it's how to coordinate that decision with everything else you've accumulated.
You mentioned the fact that the president's about to address the nation. There may be some tax changes. Do you foresee any changes when it comes to Social Security and the outlook for Social Security?
I do, absolutely. But I think that the likelihood that retiree benefits, those 50 years of age or older today, the likelihood that they're going to see a significant, just right out cut in their Social Security benefits is very slim. First of all, they represent the largest voting bloc of the population today. They're not going to vote to decrease their benefits or delay their full retirement age. For those 50 years of age or younger, probably not so lucky. What's likely to impact retirees today, though, moving forward, is the way cost of living adjustments are calculated and the annual increase that you may or may not receive each and every year when it comes to Social Security.
Interesting. You talked about folks coming to you and they've got all their stuff, all their financial eggs, and you try to put them in order. How does Social Security weigh in there? How much emphasis do you at Brookstone put on Social Security? How much of that really, what does it mean in the scheme of things, in the big picture?
Yeah, we put a lot of emphasis on Social Security. We kind of see it as an asset class in and of itself. There's a lot of recent studies, John, that talk about how portfolio longevity, meaning the likelihood that you're going to run out of money in retirement, how that is drastically reduced by properly coordinating your Social Security benefit with all your other assets and income streams in retirement. And I have a graphic here, if we could flip over to this.
Sure.
I just want to give the viewers at home, what they could be looking at by filing early. Let's assume for a second we're talking with an individual whose full retirement age is 66. If that same person files at 62, they're going to surrender approximately 25% of the benefits that they're owed. Now, if contrast that to delaying till age 70, if that same individual delayed their benefit out till age 70, they receive an 8% simple interest increase each and every year. And John, when you look at that, we put the advice we give our clients in perspective to today's low interest rate environment. Because the argument is, okay, I'm going to take Social Security, I'm going to invest it, and I'll get more money, right? I'll beat the system. Who knows where to find an 8% interest rate guaranteed by the federal government?
I can't find it.
It's tough to beat the internal rate of return from Social Security, and that's why right now it may make a lot of sense to defer or delay those benefits.
Now, what do you base that on, Seth? Obviously, for me as a layperson, health is a big one. Do you feel good? Do you feel, is there longevity in your family and that kind of thing? But also, I would think there's other financial components that would weigh into that decision, right?
Absolutely, and we actually have another graphic talking just about the break even on Social Security. And when you look at the break even, whether you draw at 62, 65, or 70, you find that the break even age is somewhere around the age of 80. Okay, whether you file early or whether you delay. Now, John, here's the problem with this little graph. Because when you look at this graph, it's only based around one single wage earner. When I'm talking with a married couple, there's a lot of strategies that can be used, file and suspend, restricted applications, that's an example of just two, that can bring that household break even back down to the age of 77, 78. So be very careful about basing your decisions solely on that individual break even. But obviously pre-existing conditions, family history of life expectancy and so on would play a role.
All right. I want to talk a little bit about, before we go to break here real quickly, you've got a little bit of a Social Security, would you call it a kit or a game plan? What do you call that, Seth?
Yeah, this is a Social Security and Medicare fax kit. All the information is updated each and every year. Now, this kit can be downloaded on our website at brookstonefinancial.com. You'll actually, everyone that goes to our website right now, Brookstone Financial, downloads this kit, will receive a copy of the Social Security and Medicare fax kit for 2015. So it's absolutely free. I encourage everyone to go there and download it.
I would encourage you to do that. And coming up, we're going to give the number for that conference call. You should participate. It's absolutely free, and there is no obligation. So be ready with a pen and pad. This is important information. If you're at or near retirement age, keep it right here. Brookstone Financial, your retirement roadmap. Will be right back on Wave 3 Listens. Welcome back once again. We are with Brookstone Financial. Seth Stewart is with us. And Seth, tell them about what they're looking at and what kind of information they'll receive if they participate.
Yeah, first of all, John, I know that's a lot of information to take in, but you can find the same dial-in instructions on our website at brookstonefinancial.com. This is a very, very exciting announcement. Great opportunity in the healthcare sector of commercial real estate. We're going to be having a conference call tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So, John, this could be the most profitable 10 minutes of 2015. So I encourage all of the viewers at home to attend.
And no obligation, if nothing else, just good information.
Great information. Very
I love
exciting.
That. So I want you to pay attention to that. Now, upcoming events, and again, Seth, tell them exactly. Obviously, this is going to be a fun event. As soon as it says bourbon, I see a little bit of fun there.
Well, we like to have fun at Brookstone. We like to deepen those relationships with our clients and people within the community. So yeah, we do have a bourbon tasting event coming up on January 27th over in Louisville, Kentucky. And then there's a wine tasting out in French Lick January 29th. You can call the office there to RSVP, or you can actually RSVP on our website at brookstonefinancial.com.
All right. Once again, we're talking to Seth Stewart, who is a managing partner at Brookstone. And the topic today, and we'll have a different one every week with Seth and Brookstone, but the topic today is Social Security. How does it fit into your retirement plan? How does it fit into your retirement roadmap? This is important information. Things are changing, and I think for a company like yours that deals in retirement and financial planning, I would think that Social Security is something you have to keep up with every law, every presidential address, exactly what way, what direction are we going in. As far as your personal thoughts, Social Security, you seem to think that, hey, everything is okay, at least for our generation and the baby boomers now.
Well, I think it's better than what the politicians would lead you to believe, because it's such a large political tool. I mean, Social Security is a moving target. I mean, we have to know that going in. It is a moving target. It's subject to change. And here's what we do, John. We have to plan around what we know today and adjust accordingly in the future. So, you know, again, it all comes back to what we know today and the rules and the strategies that are available. Let's maximize those. Will it change in the future? It could, but then we just adapt to change. 571-5263. If you have any questions about Social Security or your retirement roadmap, Seth Stewart is here. He'd love to chat with you a little bit. And I want to talk a little bit more about that conference call. We're going to throw the number up again here in a second. But this conference call, you and I last week talked about real estate. And obviously real estate, it's one of those things where I would think is a question mark. But you guys at Brookstone like to hedge your bet a little bit. This is an intelligent, I would say it's an intelligent, not an intelligent guess. It's an intelligent investment at this point. It's all about the sector of real estate. I mean, John, if we were looking at real estate that was purchasing strip malls, leasing to mom and pop operators, you know, that's obviously a little more speculative because you see a lot of vacancies. But when your vacancy rate and your occupancy rate is tied directly to the demographics at hand, and demographics are destiny, we can't change those. I mean, it's a numbers game, and I'm a numbers guy. So we love the opportunity in the healthcare sector of commercial real estate right now.
And specifically this one, you're talking about really retirement homes, places like that. That's where the investment would be. Obviously, that's kind of like getting your hair cut or the liquor industry. It's not going away.
It's not going away. I mean, these are the adult daycares, the assisted living centers, and the nursing homes in the world. So
I always tell my wife, you know, she's in the business, I said, women will always want to have their hair look pretty. So you're okay. You know, she owns a salon. I said, you're okay. I think the same is true in the liquor business. Good times, bad times. I need a drink. You know, one of the
very defensive. Right?
There you go. And in this case, baby boomers, it's just a fact of life. We're getting older. We're going to need more care. So therefore, this I would think would be a nice little investment opportunity for you. Let's throw that number again up on the screen. What kind of information will they get? Will this be one of those things where it's a call to action and say, hey, would you like to invest? Or is this one of those just kind of feel it out and get good information?
Yeah, it's an informational call, informational only, because obviously everyone's situation is different, and this may not pertain to everyone on the call because there are some suitability requirements that would apply toward this investment. But we're going to give more general information. We're going to talk a little bit about the current income, because these types of investments generate great monthly income. So a lot of our retiree clients use these types of investments to generate that that retirement income on an ongoing basis.
Okay, Seth, if we're talking now, I'm going to shift gears there, and we'll show you that number again before we leave here again with Brookstone Financial. But if we're going back to what we're talking about this week, which is Social Security, you touched upon the differences if you're a married couple and if you're single. Yeah. So what would be? Can you be more specific about that? If let's say you're a single mom.
Yeah.
Okay. What would that be? The recommendation be as opposed to a married couple?
Yeah, well, if we can go to one of the other graphs we brought here with us today, I want to touch on, you know, just the generalities of delaying Social Security. Here's an example of a plan I worked on actually just last week of an individual looking to retire in 2018. This is the retirement date. This is their current portfolio value. If they draw Social Security at 62, this would be what we see as the cash flow or the cumulative value of all their assets, okay? So they're gradually depleting their assets over time. And what's causing the erosion is keeping up with inflation and future taxes, and you have to account for inflation and taxes. So when you draw Social Security on the front end of your plan, you see more of a curve such as this, but the likelihood that you run out of money is greater in many cases than if you defer. Now, this next graph shows exactly what I'm suggesting when I talk about delaying or deferring Social Security benefits. And John, what I'm talking about here, you see this spending on the front end. That is spending down some of your money, your hard-earned money, to get to a delayed benefit. But you see the result over time. I mean, potentially you have a much larger portfolio value left at life expectancy. Keep in mind, this is the same plan. This is just a different Social Security strategy. We didn't change the rate of return. We didn't change the investments. We're just talking about how and when you file for benefits.
Interesting. If you have a question about your particular or your specific situation, 571-5263. What are the questions you most often hear when it comes to Social Security, other than, will I get mine?
Yeah, well, that's probably number one by far. Is it going to be there? We get a lot of questions about the earnings test. You know, what happens if I draw Social Security but I continue to work? Well, the answer is, if you file at 62, you file early, and you continue to work, between the ages of 62 and 66, you're subject to the earnings test. So you can only make so much money before they start withholding some of your Social Security benefits. So that's a landmine you have to watch out for. The other, I would say, is taxation of benefits. You know, how are benefits taxed? All
righty. Once again, if you have a question, then give us a call, 571-5263. We're celebrating Dr. King's birthday, and we're talking about your retirement here on Wave 3 Listens. Let me throw up the information once again. And Seth, if you would tell everyone how many locations you have. And, oh, they're going to throw that information on. This is even more important.
Yeah.
Again.
Exciting announcement. Again, be on this conference call. John, could be the most profitable 10 minutes of 2015 you spend. All this information, again, by the way, is available on our website at brookstonefinancial.com. Now, at Brookstone, you mentioned locations. We are serving Louisville, Madison, Jasper, and Evansville.
All right. Thank you very much. Seth Stewart is with us. He is a partner, and once again, he's ready to field your phone calls. 571-5263. We're Wave 3 Listens. We're live. Give us a buzz. We'll be right back after these. You know what? You know what's really nice about Brookstone Financial? Not only Seth Stewart, who is a founding partner here, but also the fact that they give you goodies absolutely free just for knowing trivia. Seth, I'm going to let you do the honors. First of all, up for grabs here, a $20 gift certificate to Red Yeti Brewing Company. A lot of folks are talking about this place. Good food and good brew.
Yeah, great food, great beer, John. And I'll tell you what, you absolutely have to try the greens at Red Yeti. It's right around the corner from our Jeffersonville office, so we frequent Red Yeti quite often. But again, I can't say enough good stuff about their food there at Red Yeti.
And we don't mind if you Google this information, but the first person to call with the correct answer wins the gift certificate. It's a $20 gift certificate. I'll buy you a couple of brews and a nice appetizer or a meal. Who is the first person to receive monthly Social Security checks, if you know it? 571-5263. Give us a call or a question for Seth as well. All right, we've been focusing on Social Security. You said that things could change. You know, there was a question mark there for a while of, will the U.S. government be able to cover that debt? Will they be able to pay out Social Security? You seem to think, and I think you're absolutely right, that they'll make sure they can, because that voting population, how many people, they're going to make sure those folks are taken care of.
Absolutely, John. I mean, and a lot of that data comes back to the Trustees Report that was published back in 2013. And when you look at that Trustees Report, and granted, the thing's hundreds of pages long. Now, there is a summary report, I think it's 70 or 80. But when you look into that report, you see a depletion date of the trust used to fund Social Security was 2033. It was backed up to 2032. But when you look at low unemployment numbers back in 13, and you look at FICA tax revenue coming in based upon those low unemployment numbers, the FICA tax revenue alone would still be enough to cover up to 70% of benefits owed to retirees, even out to 2032. So it's not the zero. When people say deplete, they often want to latch on to zero. Oh my gosh, it's not going to be there. I better get it while I can. That's not the case, John. And outside of reform, which reform is inevitable, you know, it's highly unlikely our federal government is going to let Social Security just totally go away or diminish.
I agree with you totally. And interesting though, you're a self-professed numbers guy.
Absolutely.
So in the economy with as complex as it is, and we're becoming much more of, it's becoming much more of a global economy. How hard is it for you to, as a numbers guy, to break things down? Is it terribly important to not only keep a handle on what's going on here in this country, but also in Europe and the rest of the world as well?
Well, and John, I mentioned in the first segment here last week, I mean, we are one relationship, a team of professionals, and we live and die by that motto. So, I mean, it's too much for one individual in this industry to keep up with absolutely everything. Social Security, global economics, you know, the current trends here in the U.S. So we rely heavily on our team at Brookstone. So you know you're in good hands when you have that one relationship and that team of professionals to back them up at Brookstone.
Seth, I feel your passion. If someone is viewing right now, they're off today, Dr. King's Day, and they go, you know what, I really would like to be off every day. I've got to get my retirement roadmap together. Yep. First step with Brookstone Financial. Should they come on in for an appointment? Should they call you? How's it work?
Give us a call. We do offer absolutely free 1 hour, one-on-one consultations. So at the end of that 1 hour consultation, at that point, I think we'll both start to realize if it's a good fit and if we can bring value to the table.
What's Brookstone's perspective right now on the economy? I mean, you know, I talk to folks in different industries, whether it be healthcare. I have people who come on here that are, you know, they deal in real estate. I also have people who come on here who happen to deal in retail. And I'm saying, what is a good economic indicator? Where do you guys look? Where do you do your research?
Well, there's a lot of different sources that we pull research from, but in my opinion, I think the biggest risk right now is a spike in interest rates. I mean, a spike in interest rates has the ability to really derail the recovery like that, John. So, you know, in my personal opinion, that's one of the biggest risks we face today. I mean, a gradual rise in interest rates is already priced into the markets, but it's those short spikes in interest rates that really wreak havoc on a lot of the more conservative investments, fixed income bonds in particular.
If we're talking about retirement, is there a point that it's too late? What demographic do you see at Brookstone?
Well, it's never too late. I gotta throw that out there. It's never too late. But I would say that the average age of our clients probably 50 to 55. Most of them are probably at least 5 years from retirement, or maybe, you know, could possibly 10 to 20 years into retirement. And, you know, primary focus is protecting their income. Solid, sustainable retirement income. A close second to that, though, and this kind of ties back into the tax conversation we were having earlier, is how to effectively and efficiently transfer what's left to the next generation. And those are some of the changes that are proposed through the Obama administration, are the tax advantages of transferring wealth from one generation to the next right now. I mean, that's where we could see some substantial changes in the near future.
How financially damaging could it be to someone like myself to not know the new tax laws or not know how to make transfers? Or, I mean, you've seen some cases when folks say, well, I think I've got a good handle on this, and perhaps they're costing themselves money and not aware of it.
Well, and we all have to pay taxes, right? That's inevitable. That's part of life. But I see people paying more than their fair share of taxes. I think that's the best way to put it. So, yeah, we all have to pay taxes, but just don't put yourself in a position to pay more than your fair share. And that's what I see all too often.
I love that. And that is important. I would agree. And I'd love you all to make an appointment with Brookstone Financial. Before we go again, I want to show the information for the big conference call that is coming. Last week we were talking about real estate. And you were talking about, hey, if you could invest in real estate that was involved in healthcare, that would be a nice little bet there. Talk about the information they'll receive on this.
Yeah, we've got an exciting announcement. This actually just came up last week, by the way, John. So this is an investment that wasn't scheduled to close until early 2016. So just to give you an example of how ahead of the pace that they're actually running on raising capital, this investment is closing in about 2 weeks. So this is a last-minute conference call. Realize that it's tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It's only going to take about 10 minutes, but this could be one of the most profitable 10 minutes of 2015 you ever spend. So I would encourage the viewers at home to attend the conference call.
No obligation.
No obligation.
No,
absolutely. Informational only. You can find this same login info on our website at brookstonefinancial.com.
Brookstonefinancial.com. There it is. And also, you can get yourself one of these Social Security information kits, right? Yeah,
John. You go to our website at Brookstone Financial. You can see right there. You can register to download or receive hard copies. I think most of them are going out hard copies these days of the 2015 Social Security and Medicare facts. No obligation, no cost to that kit either. So register, download that. scroll down slightly. There is the conference call information we've been talking about a lot on today's show. But again, we're really excited about that announcement. Good
information today about Social Security. Enjoyed it. Good information the prior week about REITs and real estate investments. Next week, what will we be talking about?
Next week, we're going to be talking about Annuities 101, the good, bad, and the ugly of annuities.
All right. Should be interesting. All right. Once again, Brookstone Financial. This is Seth Stewart, and we appreciate you watching today. Now, don't forget, jump on that conference call. Good information for you. And there's their information. Again, your offices are?
Jeffersonville, Louisville, Madison, and Jasper.
All right, it's a beautiful day outside. Get out there and enjoy it. And if you're thinking about retiring, wouldn't it be nice to be off every day? Brookstone Financial. Talk to Seth Stewart. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back. A $20 gift certificate to Red Yeti Brewing Company just across the river. The trivia question again, Seth?
Who was the first person to receive monthly Social Security checks? Was it A, John David Sweeney, B, Ida Mae Fuller, C, Grace Owen, or D, Ernest Ackerman? John, the correct answer is B, Ida Mae Fuller. She was the first one to receive Social Security benefits, monthly Social Security benefits. By the way, it's kind of a trick question because Ernest Ackerman was actually the first individual to receive benefits, but it was originally intended to be a lump sum benefit.
Oh, interesting. Well, congratulations to Wanda Williamson. I learned something today. It's an educational opportunity, too, when I'm with Seth Stewart of Brookstone Financial. Again, congratulations. Okay.